On this episode of Michelle's Pop-Up Kitchen, I'll be making Sriracha BBQ pulled pork. And we'll find out the meaning behind the red rooster on the Sriracha bottle. Plus, we'll find out where you can attend the next annual Sriracha Festival. This is one of my favorite recipes because it's so incredibly easy to make. All you need are a few key ingredients, a couple minutes to prep, and a crock pot to do all of the work for you. First, you're going to need 5 cloves of garlic, 1 fresh jalapeno, 1 onion, 2 pounds of pork tenderloin, ground cumin, chili powder, cayenne, smoked paprika, salt and pepper, barbecue sauce, sriracha, and a handy-dandy crock pot. I'm going to start by slicing my onion. You can use any type of onion you like. I'm using a red one here because I want to add more heat to the pork. Once I have that sliced up, I'm just going to lay the onion slices at the bottom of the crock pot to serve as a base for the pork. Now we can move on to the jalapeno, which I'm also going to slice up and toss into the crock pot, seeds and all, for that extra kick. Now for the main ingredient, the pork. I'm using a pork tenderloin that has been pre-seasoned in some garlic and herbs, but you don't have to go out and buy pre-seasoned pork because all of the spices that we'll be using today can really hold up on their own. Honestly, I'm only using it because it was on sale. I'm kind of eyeballing the amounts here, but I'll probably end up using about a tablespoon of each per side. You can adjust the amounts depending on what you can handle. I'm just going to rub in the spices a little bit to really get those flavors into the pork. Then I'm going to flip it over and do the same on the other side. And now we can start to get a little fancy. I'm going to cut some small slits into the surface of the pork. Then, I'm going to stuff the slits with my garlic cloves to get maximum flavor. I'm done prepping the pork, so I'll just lay it on top of the onion slices and the jalapenos and let the crock pot do the rest. I'm going to set this to 4 hours on high. If you have the time, you could also set this to 8 hours on low to really develop all of those flavors. Alright, it's been 4 hours and let's see how this looks. Now for the final touch, some sriracha and barbecue sauce. I'll add about a 1/4 cup of each. So let's shred this up and give it a good mix. The pork should be so tender that it just falls apart.
Look at how nice and tender that is.
This would be awesome on a classic hamburger bun with some chips and pickles, or if you're feeling more adventurous, you can try what I've done here and serve it on some corn tortillas with some broccoli slaw and sriracha. There's great balance here. You get the heat from the jalapenos and the sriracha, but you also get the crunch and the cooling effect from the broccoli slaw. Thanks for watching, and let me know what you think about the recipe in the comments below. On next week's episode of Michelle's Pop-Up Kitchen,